If you are at all in the tiniest little itsy bitsy bit prone to seizures or motion sickness, do not watch this video or play this game, especially not in full screen. If you try, I am not responsible for what happens. You have been warned.
Begin. Line. Game over. Super Hexagon.
Oh my. I'll just say something right up front here. There's only two reasons I got this game. One, it was cheap. I got a 2-pack for $5. And two, I was looking for a challenge. I got one, but for all the wrong reasons, man. All the wrong reasons. Sorry, getting a little ahead of myself. This is Super Hexagon, a game by Terry Cavanagh. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. With music by Chipzel, made in 2012. This game has great critical acclaim, runner-up for Apple's App Store Game of the Year, beat out by Rayman Jungle Run, and a finalist for the 2013 Independent Game Festival's Excellence in Design Award, losing out to FTL Faster Than Light. This game sure seems to get a lot of runner-up awards here. Funny enough, both finalists for this last one are hard as balls, but for entirely different reasons. Whereas FTL is a roguelike which will take some planning and some luck to get through, Super Hexagon takes a direct route and does everything it can to kill you, all at the same freaking time. I suppose in an abstract sort of way, you could almost call this a rhythm-based game. The music in the background is meant to go along to the rhythm of the game, though your mileage may vary. Some people say the music helps them get into the zone, some say it's a distraction and actually makes them do worse. I don't know. I personally like the music myself, and I'm not really consistent enough to gauge whether the music helps me or not. Okay, so in real basic terms, this game is kinda like... well, you know those games on the internet where you have to keep running and it times how long you run, and sometimes you buy upgrades to try and let you get farther? This game is kinda like that. Except better, smoother, harder, no upgrades to buy, so you just have to use your pure skill. Maybe it's nothing like that at all. Anyway, you get a small little triangle through an onslaught of walls that come at you on the sides of a hexagon. Or, well, it's usually a hexagon. Strange enough, only the first difficulty actually seems to change the board's shape entirely like this. But trust me, you'll have enough problems on the later difficulties as it is. You don't need the shapes changing to allow you to get distracted even farther. Or maybe it would actually give you a break on the later difficulties. While there is an onslaught of walls to dodge in this game, that's only half of where the difficulty actually comes from. See, while you're attempting to play Super Hexagon, as you might have seen by now, it will turn, twist, tilt, pulse, change color, and generally do all that's in its power to rip your brain out through your optic nerves while you try to play it. Know what the differences between the normal difficulties and their corresponding hyper modes are? Almost nothing. Same speed, same pattern, same lines. The only difference is that the game cranks the eye rape dial up to 11. You would be surprised how much harder this makes these levels. You might think, oh, I don't get distracted easily, that won't affect me at all. Ha 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 ha, bullcrap. You try it. As an indicator of this game's difficulty, look at how the modes are labeled. Hard, harder, and hardest. And then the hyper modes are labeled hardester, hardestest, and hardestist. Kinda sounds like a bad stutter. When a game describes its starting difficulty as hard, you know you're in for some good old stays crunchy in milk challenge. As crunchy as goddamn friggin' jaw breakers. This game will break your jaw. From all the screaming.
Game over. Begin.
Every visual effect in this game is designed to throw off your sight. Even the triangle twisting as you move can throw you off. Not to mention that on the later difficulties, the triangle moves really, really fast when you tap your arrow keys, making minute adjustments impossible, which will lead to deaths through both accuracy and imprecision. But you have to move that fast, or you would never make it to the gaps in the walls fast enough. It's a strange balance that will undoubtedly make you shout at your game a lot more than once. You will either die by sending yourself into a wall when you go too far, or into a wall trying not to go too far. Especially on Hexagonist, it is very, very difficult to be precise, and I think the pattern I actually hate the most in the entire game is this stupid little alternating pattern, because you need precision to get through it, but because you're on Hexagonist and everything's moving so fast, the controls don't offer any precision, so you die more often on this stupid, easy little pattern, or a pattern that should be easy except the controls are friggin' impossible. I'm sorry, I just really don't like it when the controls don't do what I want them to. As you might have been able to tell, this game is freaking hard. And I think some of the challenge is just artificial, but maybe that's just my opinion. I just don't like it when visual effects are part of the challenge of the game. The goal is to last 60 seconds on each level. 60 seconds does not sound like a long time. That's 1 minute. If the wait at the DMV was 1 minute, you would be a very happy person. But 1 minute is much, much longer than you think it is in this game. In a mere hour, this game reduced me from a calm, collected challenger down to a furry ball of rage, which I admit games do more often than I would like them to do, and finally broke me down into a babbling, squeaking, helpless wreck, trying to call on the mystical powers of the Japanese gaming gods to help me through on the 3rd level. I wish I was kidding. I have proof. I recorded my mental breakdown. Oh my elf frickers. Is that kind of like pot stickers? Elf frickers, like really, really super hot pot stickers? No! That was bull! That was something simple! Simple! Civilized beings! What the heck is Kali goddess of anyway? I don't even know. Probably wouldn't help me. Is there a goddess of dexterity? Or Asianness? There's gotta be a god of Asianness. Hideo Kojima, I pray to you. I don't know, you look Asian enough to help me. Asian gods of gaming, grant me strength. Please. Your opinion might vary on this psychedelic visual form of challenge. Many people seem to think this is just meant to test your limits of reaction time under extremely distracting conditions. Which I admit, I suppose it does. Some of you might think it's just a really cheap way to add challenge, and I can definitely see where you're coming from. Your opinion might be different, especially if you're any of the gaming press, which just seems to love this game with a passion. But I personally think this has a little too much praise heaped on it, and I know someone's going to want to lynch me for saying that. Yes, this game is original, or at least the visual style of it is. Yes, the music is great. Yes, it's a simple bite-sized challenge. These are all very good things. The fake difficulty of the imprecise controls and crazy headache-inducing visuals, though, really kinda put me off of Super Hexagon. I have played almost all of the levels. I've only beaten the first 2, though. I got a Pentagon rank on the 4th, I was so close to beating it. I got a line rank on the 5th level, and I got a square rank on the 3rd, because, as we all know, it's hip to be a square. So if you're going to play this game, be prepared for this game to slap you upside the head, call you its bitch, and leave you with nothing to do about it. Do not think of 60 seconds as your goal. Not right away, or you will never make it. It will feel like trying to climb Mount Everest without any equipment. Try to beat what you did before. Take it one step at a time. Slowly work your way up. Otherwise, it will seem completely insurmountable and you'll have a mental breakdown like I did. I'm not even kidding about how freakishly hard this game is. You might think I'm calling this game out on false difficulty just because I suck, with me only getting past a third of the difficulty levels even after playing for 2 or 3 hours and all. But, luckily for me, Steam tracks global achievement stats. Guess what? I'm in at least the top quarter of people here. Only 43.9% of people completed the first difficulty, the very first level. And then we go to 21.7%, 6.5%, 6.3%, which I almost became a part of, I was so close, 5.5%, and 2.3%. That's right, people who have completed this game is 2.3%. Less than 1 out of 40 people. I mean, wow. That's just insane, considering you're talking about only 6 levels that you only have to last a minute each in. So those of you who are going to go, you're just saying bad things about Super Hexagon because you're terrible at it, suck it. I'm better than 3 out of 4 people who have picked this game up. So if you want to try this game and have it break your balls, it's only $3. Or you can always go and try Open Hexagon, a free open source version if you like open source kicking your ass instead, or even the original Hexagon, the browser game form, although Hexagon is older and not quite as good. For example, you can't hit the sides of the walls, whereas in Super Hexagon, in its only tiny little beam of mercy, lets you press against the sides of the walls, which is very helpful in, say, spiral configurations. So, do you want to try this game? Good question. Only go after this game if you're looking for a challenge. A crazy, trippy challenge. This is Tanara Kuranov signing off, and I have never felt so prone to nausea while playing a game in my life.
Game over. Pentagon. Hexagon. Wonderful.
Looks like somebody watched past the end of the video again. Ha ha ha, good. You get to listen to me talk about YouTube. It's been, what, six and a half months since I've started here? Hasn't been too long. And since then I've also been accepted on Blip, but what, I got like 90 views on Blip. Nobody watches me on Blip. You can't even find me on the search function on Blip. I'm not even a blip on the radar. So this makes 17 reviews, 5 Let's Plays, 33 videos in total. For the most part, I'm proud of them. For the most part. I kind of sucked on Spin Doctor, the Let's Play. I think my co-commentator was better than I was. I was like, I don't know what to say. But anyway. So 2,913 views, 66 countries, and 91 subscribers, all of which are obviously super cool people, across 29 different countries. Getting close to hitting the range of Dunbar's number here. It's almost guaranteed 2 of you have the same birthday, and it would take between 864 and 3,655 square feet to seat all of you, and it would take 26 cubic feet of fresh air per second to compensate for the body odor. What? Ask Wolfram Alpha, not me. I don't think you stink. Wolfram Alpha thinks you stink. You should talk to them about that. Also, we've got 126 likes, 164 comments, although almost half of those are probably mine. 3 shares, 6 favorites, and 5 dislikes. What's the saying? The only bad publicity is no publicity? It's all mostly good anyway, right? 5 dislikes. Who cares about those? Also, we did have a day where over a day's worth of video was watched in a single day, which is probably normal for some people, but I've only had that happen once, thanks to Dark Castle, and probably thanks to Lazy Game Reviews. I hear a lot of people found that video because of him. And so thank all of you for watching, subbing, liking, sharing, suggesting games. Big one to Emmanuel. He says I'm butchering his names, and I don't really know how to pronounce it. For helping me with Double Morale. That was a fun one. Maybe one day being watched that often will be normal. I don't know. For now, I'm just a teensy little drop in the enormous bucket of YouTube. But who knows, maybe someday. So, if you've watched this far, listen to my statistics, listen to my gushing, listen to my self-centered talk about YouTube, and you watched within the first couple of weeks, hey, there's a special announcement like I promised on my social networking sites. Hey, if you watch my social networking sites, you'll know about these things. Sort of. You know there's a special announcement, but you don't know what it is. Remember when I said I bought a 2-pack on this game? That wasn't just so I could be, pretentious and say, hey, look, I support the developer and bought 2. Well, I did. But one of them is for one of you guys, actually. So, let's give it a couple of weeks here. Let's say What's a couple of Saturdays from now? Let's say until midnight, May 25th. I know life's busy, so I'll give it a week and a half. I know some of you aren't going to watch the video immediately, but before midnight, June 25th, no, May 25th, before midnight, May 25th, send me in a private message your Steam account and tell me it's for the Super Hexagon giveaway, and I'm going to give that copy away by random drawing. Just because you people are so awesome. I'm giving away a free game. So, send me your Steam account over PM, tell me it's for this, and one of you will get it. And I'll probably announce that in the next video at the end or something, I don't know, so that you can see my horrible, messy-haired, unshaven face again. Maybe I'll try and shave next time, but this is what happens when I don't shave for a week. It's ugly. Alright, so this is Tanara Kuranov officially signing off, and good luck.